So the aims of the survey are firstly to see how many bass have survived the first winter, and then secondly to see how many bass have come in from this year's spawning. And that in turn will determine how many bass become adults and part of the spawning stock. I'm Robin Bradley. I'm a keen bass angler of around 40 years. I've also had a science background, having spent my career in NHS pathology laboratories. I also have a keen interest in marine biology, which I've been able to pursue through work such as this and others, which I started back in 2013 when I retired. I've been carrying on since then, and since 2021 I took over the reins from Derek Goodwin. So we net sites like this towards the top of the tide to allow the fish to come up to the head of the inlet. We draw a net, the same net across the inlet, and then two volunteers, one on each end of the net, would draw the net towards the top of the inlet and then carefully land the catch on a bank. Once the net's landed, we would take a representative sample of the fish to be measured. If they were bass, we would count them all, that they all go back as quickly as we can. Similarly with other species, we would try and estimate roughly how many there were there, and again take a small sample of those to get a distribution of the length. So as well as measuring the length of the fish, for every survey we measure the environmental parameters such as the air temperature, cloud cover, wind speed and direction, and we measure water parameters such as the water temperature, salinity, clarity of the water, the depth of the water. These are all things which may have a bearing on the results that we find. So all the survey data is collated, and at the end of the survey programme we send that to CFAS, who prepare the data for onward transmission to ICs. That's one of their source data that they use when they're coming up with the annual stock assessment of the northern bass stock, and that in turn is used to inform the catch limits of bass for the following year. As far as we know, the work we do is unique, but we would be very happy to help and encourage other groups to start doing similar type of work, because it's important to have a comparison of our data with other parts of the UK, and also to determine whether there are other nurseries which could benefit from increased protection. The Cornwall Bass Investigations Group are a group of volunteer citizen scientists. We number over 70 now within the group, and that number is increasing. They come from a range of walks of life. They all share a common interest in conservation, in nature, in wildlife, and of course fish, not just bass but lots of other species of fish as well. Recognition of our work and our group is growing, and we've formed strong links with a number of scientific, regulatory, fisheries and conservation bodies. Another of our aims is to help with research into bass by providing data which is used in scientific papers on the causes of good and bad year classes, by working with universities, for example, on different projects, and by helping students with their research into bass. We're also keen to provide opportunities for students and other people who would like to gain experience of estuarine fish sampling.